Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Talking Davos show, live from the studios in Davos. We have a very special guest now, and our guest is
Philip Rosler.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Philip. Philip is a member of the World Economic Forum Managing Board, and perhaps I can also mention at this point the former Vice Chancellor of Germany. Welcome, Philip.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Philip. Please talk us about your leadership style to the global shippers who are watching the show.
Okay, cool. So my leadership style is hopefully, but you have to ask my team members, always in a team spirit. I would like to work in a team. Of course, I say, look, this is a goal, but the way you would like to achieve the goal, that's on you. Of course, there are some specific rules and borderlines, but more or less you have a lot of freedom in order to achieve what I'm asking you to achieve.
Philip, we're here at Davos. It's a massive event, and you are at the heart of it. Please, can you speak to the experience of being here in this beautiful snow mountains?
It's first and foremost, of course, pretty exciting. The downside is you have so many appointments that you cannot really, embrace the entire program, and you can see only a minor picture of what is going on here during these 3 or 4 days. But again, so it's really exciting to have so many people on site from so many different walks of life. It's really exciting, and I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. Could you share one highlight? I'll push you a little bit on that question.
I think the highlight was, of course, the panel I have had the honor to moderate. It was with Queen Rania, the Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey, Deputy Prime Minister of Belgium, the head of ICIC, and then really amazing entrepreneur, the CEO of Chobani. And it was a discussion how to respond to the modern emergencies. And please do not respond in the old-fashioned style to give money for refugee camps, and that it was good for your conscience but bad for the people. No, it was really an entrepreneurial spirit, how to create on the ground for the people, for the refugees, jobs, education, hope, and it's a question of dignity, and that was so inspiring for me. And so I'm a little proud of this.
Beautiful.
The fourth industrial revolution is a big theme in this year's Davos.
Yes.
What do you hear from the leaders who you interact with during this year's meeting?
Yes. They really appreciate that we have this as a headline and the main theme, because we, as a consequence, offered to all the different leaders, policymakers, as well business leaders, a platform to come together, to talk about the fourth industrial revolution. What does it mean? What are the consequences on the business end, but as well for the policymakers? And to be honest, quite often the development in business and society is much faster than the change and the flexibility and the adoption by the policymakers. And in order to create really a common understanding, what does it mean and how to react accordingly, I think therefore we need this kind of platform.
I'm sure our viewers around the world are looking at you and saying, he's so young and he's the Vice Chancellor, and here he is in the Management Board. Can you speak to that journey, and where you are right now?
Okay, so yes, I look a little bit Asian, so not what you maybe expect from a German Vice Chancellor, but as part of the story. So I was born in 1973 in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. So then I came from a Catholic orphanage, so I was adopted. So to some extent I was some refugee, even of course the refugees today have it even more tougher than every before. But then I came to Germany. My country gave me the chance of my life. So I could go to school, I came into a beautiful family, a nice family. And I went to university, made my career as a medical doctor, and then decided to join politics. I was elected first on a smaller state, for there 6 years in the parliament, then deputy prime minister on the state level and minister of economics, labor and transport. And then given my background as a doctor and my policy background, I was asked to become federal health minister. I was this 2 years, and then I became the chairman of my party, so the Free Democratic Party, and I changed the portfolio to economic and technology. And as the chairman of the coalition partner in a coalition in Germany, so the bigger party is then the Chancellor, and the smaller party is then the Vice Chancellor. So I was then the deputy of Angela Merkel for 2.5 years.
Beautiful. And you spoke to the fact that you are an orphan and a refugee. Right now we're in the midst of a refugee crisis, a migrant crisis, and Germany is also at the heart of that crisis and in the way it's responding. Could you speak to some of your views on what is going on in Europe and beyond?
So maybe even it's a really personal
Yes,
point of
please.
view, but I think there's one message. First, it was not a downside for a country to be so open and to integrate first at the beginning strangers or strange cultures, even strange faces. Secondly, so if you have the chance, so then you can use it. I think it can maybe encourage all the different tragedies we now see to try to come out of this and to convince the host countries to be open. Even today, even I know that it's a tough discussion.
Yes.
And what, according to you, are some of the biggest shifts that are happening in the world right now?
Of course, we have so many smaller geopolitical turmoils, and there is no voice and no power, by the way, who try to manage this. And so the answer is now pretty clear. So the regions and all the different regions have to manage their own turmoils by their own, maybe with some support from outside. But at the end, it makes a platform like the annual meeting even more important because we can bring the different stakeholders together and to come not only to discussions but to joint actions. And that has changed, that you even today you need this kind of platform because there is no one else besides yourself who can manage your challenges.
You've been now 2 years with the World Economic
Yes.
Forum, and you just spoke out the important role it plays in these times of turmoil. Could you speak to some of the key outcomes you've witnessed in these past 2 years with the forum?
First, I think the biggest learning for me was that the World Economic Forum it's even more than only the annual meeting. Of course, that is our flagship. It's so important, as you have seen here over the last days. But we have also smaller events. We have so many exciting communities, young global leader, global shapers, of course, the most important, an exciting community. And I haven't known this before. I was 2 times as a minister in Davos. But to be honest, I have, of course, only the idea, okay, that's the guys who are organizing Davos. But now I realize the entire universe behind the World Economic Forum, and it's so exciting, and we have so great people in the teams. And I love this and appreciate this. And when I was minister, I could achieve a lot, but only with your civil servants. But now, working for the forum, and that's for all of us, you can achieve even more because you can bring policymakers, civil servants together with business leader and the employees, civil society, so you can really leverage all your ideas and you can really have impact. And so I'm not sure if a minister can have more impact than the colleagues here in the forum. If you have a specific project, the right guys in your teams and the right constituents, then you can really have impact.
What is your message to the young global shapers who are watching this show live?
Yes. The first message is a huge thanks to all of you because it's great what you're doing on the ground for your constituents, for your country, for your city, for your hub, as well as for our entire mission committed to improving the state of the world. And it's so exciting and it's fresh blood, and to have so engaged people, I think it's worth to have a huge thank you.
Wow, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, we're not done. You don't get up that easily. I think, you have a very busy schedule. There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find your balance? How do you stay focused, perhaps mindful even?
So during the annual meeting is really tough to find, but before and after, so you will have the opportunity. If you are on the train from Geneva to Davos, you can, swing into the move and in the mood, and so I think that's the best way, and then walk a little bit around, so from one hotel to another, from one meeting to the next, so you can really walk in the snowy Davos, and you can really have a breath, literally, and then you can calm down for a bit, and then you are strong enough for the rest of the day.
And what are your top priorities for the year ahead?
So we started to change a little bit our formats for these smaller regional events to make it smaller, shorter, but even more high level. And to go this way, that's nice. And secondly, we try to engage on a long-term perspective the policymakers. We started even this annual meeting. We have policy governance meetings, so bring together one industry with the related public figures, means ministers. But it should not be only a standalone event during the annual meeting. No, we would like to engage them on the challenges and the industries over the course of the next 12 months.
And if there is one key takeaway from this year's Davos, what would that be?
I think it's really encouraging that all the different stakeholders have realized how important this challenge is and how important it is to deal with the challenge of the refugee crisis. But it was really encouraging to see that they're motivated, even passionate. We have so many different, even private activities, projects, and that is my key takeaway.
Refugees and the stakeholders taking care of these refugees, thinking about refugees, is one of the key takeaways for Philip Rosler, Managing Director of the World Economic Forum and member of the Managing Board here in the studios in Davos. Thank you, Philip, for joining us.
Thank you, Philip.
Stay tuned for our next guest. Follow #ShapingDavos.